Schefter tweet seemed a little lion-esque.
They might have, but
I'm just curious who his source is. I'm guessing it's not Matthew or Kelly staff.
Right. But
so who's his source?
Well, whatever. But the fact that the thing you say about the warm-up backs it up.
Yeah, no, I know. And he didn't look right. And what I don't understand, I talked to a couple people before the game, is it just his hip? Did he do something to his hip? Or does this go back to the back? Is the back, because the backbone is connected to the hip bone.
That's right.
And, is this all interconnected? So he didn't look right.
But then,
for them to come, but look, I know it's next man up. You got to play. And for him to come out and play as well as he did, and for the Lions to battle the way they did, and they certainly didn't shut down Patrick Mahomes, but they obviously frustrated him at times a little bit.
Yeah.
I was, as the game was unfolding, I'm like, God, if Stafford plays a big game and they win, and they somehow shut down Mahomes, the narrative on both Matt Patricia and Matthew Stafford will change dramatically. Now, I'm not sure we'll ever realize Stafford, but I do think there are some cynical Lion fans who are looking at Patricia now, maybe not as glowingly as you are, or maybe a little bit differently than they did 3, 4, 5 weeks ago.
And on Stafford, the run that he had,
yeah,
I mean, he won the crowd over. That was so fun, cool to see.
He lowered his shoulder.
Well, not to see, to hear, actually.
Yeah.
There were extra roars from him in doing that. I mean, they fought tooth and nail. Look at the Stafford fumble, and then they didn't touch Mahomes. I mean, there were 0 sacks. He didn't have any of the turnovers.
No, they pressured him a little bit.
Pat Mahomes played a really good game yesterday.
Yes, he did. All right, it's 6:46, 248-539-9797. We'll take your calls coming up next on 97.1 The Ticket.
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. I mean, you can even go there and wear, Chiefs jerseys. Planet Fitness offers a clean environment, tons of equipment, full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month. Now, special offer. October 11th only. Check this out. Dollar down days are on. That's right. Join Planet Fitness today for just $1 down and $10 a month. That's right. Just $10 a month, $1 down. Join today at the club or online at www.planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness has 47 locations in the Detroit area. Planet Fitness, it's a judgment-free zone.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by the UPS Store. So far, accident-free on your drive this morning. You'll find, though, additional road work now within the existing construction zone. A complete exit closed. 75 northbound, that exit to Big Beaver East is closed through the end of October. Traffic volumes picking up in pockets on 75 southbound, anywhere between 14 and 8 Mile. Same thing for 94 westbound, anywhere between M59 and 696. The UPS Store has every ink you need to promote your business, including printing. From business cards to brochures to banners, they're here to handle all your printing needs. The UPS Store, every ink for small business, and of course shipping. I'm Michelle Pena in the WWJ 24-hour traffic center.
At home, in your car, or at work. Detroit's sports station.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Hooters Monday Night Moneyball at HootersMoneyball.com. All right, folks, my biggest loser yesterday was Oakland linebacker Vontaze Burfict. The former out-of-control Bengals cheap shot artist reverted to his old bad ways. He was ejected, and rightly so, for a devastating dirty hit on Colts tight end Jack Doyle. I expect the NFL office to bring down the hammer on the always imperfect Burfict, who should have been kicked out of the league a long time ago. Elsewhere, Baltimore was drilled by Cleveland at home. What's become of the once vaunted Ravens defense? And Atlanta fell to 1-3. Tennessee ran the Falcons ragged, and Dan Quinn is certainly on the hot seat as his birds look lost. Washington slipped to 0-4. Jay Gruden's Redskins are a disaster in the making. Ditto for winless Denver. At least they are competitive. And Miami, once again, was surprisingly competitive for a half against the Chargers before reverting to full-on tank mode. I'm Boomer Esiason.
You have a job to fill. You post your opening to dozens of online job sites and receive 600 resumes, which you barely have time to eyeball and settle on someone good on paper. In real life, they aren't. You train, retrain, correct, redo, admit defeat, start all over again. Robert Half is the better way to find top talent quickly. Robert Half interviews and custom matches applicants to your exact requirements. Satisfaction guaranteed. Robert Half, the experts in accounting, finance, IT, legal, marketing, and administrative staffing. Visit roberthalf.com.
Head clogged with sinus pressure, congestion, and a stuffy nose? The worst. But you can get fast relief from Vicks Sinex nasal spray. It works in seconds and lasts for 12 hours. 12 hours! So breathe freely, fast with Vicks Sinex. Use as directed. Life doesn't stop for a cold, so neither should you. Dayquil Severe provides maximum strength relief for your worst cold and flu symptoms, so you can get through your day like a champion. Dayquil Severe, the daytime, coughing, aching, stuffy head power through your day medicine.
Nobody does spicy chicken like Wendy's. So all hail the Queen of Spice. All hail the Queen. And the return of Wendy's Spicy Chicken Nuggets. That's right, bring them back, bring them back. You asked and now they're back, which means you don't have to settle for those knockoffs anymore. These are the real deal. So hurry into Wendy's now. Satisfy your spicy craving with the original Spicy Nuggets. Bring them back. Get a free 6-piece and taste the spice that started it all when you mobile order through the Wendy's app. We got you. The time mobile purchase required.
Helen, she's loved every minute of her 76 years. From childhood dance recitals to summer vacations up north to building a family with her high school sweetheart. Helen has a lifetime of memories stashed away in her heart. But we know what makes it tick, what makes it flutter. You see, in some ways, we know Helen's heart better than she does. At the Henry Ford Heart and Vascular Institute, our internationally renowned team is using 4D imaging and 3D printing to understand your heart inside and out, using prediction modeling to give you better outcomes, and pioneering new pathways of hope, like how we fixed Helen's inoperable condition without any incisions. People from all over the world come to the Henry Ford Heart and Vascular Institute searching for solutions to incurable problems. We have our fingers on the pulse of what's next, all so you don't miss a beat. Discover what we can do for you at henryford.com/3dheart. Henry Ford Health System, all for you.
Looking to build a deck but don't want a second job of sanding, staining, or painting? Shop John's Lumber, Macomb County's largest Trex dealer, and enjoy a hassle-free deck before winter comes. Relax in a Trex deck that's ready when you are. Hours and locations at johnslumber.com.
Parents, do you want to save your child's life? 97.1 The Ticket Student Heart Check can help. Make the time to have your child checked. Contact the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. Learn more at 971theticket.com.
Just 6 more days until the Red Wings home opener on 97.1 The Ticket.
The Ticket, 248-539-9797, ticket text 97136. Mike texted in, the last touchdown by Kansas City was not a touchdown. If you replay it yourself, you'll see his knee was down far before the goal line. Roles reversed, that touchdown would have been negated if the Lions had possession. That's from Mike. I never saw his knee go down. Now, I would have loved to have seen a clear, definitive replay, but none existed. That maybe whether or not the ball was stopped before he actually fell into the end zone. But the way that play was called originally on the field was the way it was going to be finalized, because there was no clear replay once they called it a touchdown.
Right.
But I never thought his knee was down. Did you?
No. Here's a nitpick. A friend of mine texted me during the game, and I understand some of it. When the Lions were down in the goal line near the end of the first half, on second down, they threw the ball. It was an incomplete pass, which stopped the clock. And if he would have run the ball there, even if it would have got no yardage, either Kansas City would have been forced to use a timeout, but the fact that Andy Reid didn't even use his last timeout the half, maybe he wouldn't have anyway. But it would have forced him to use a timeout, and if he didn't, the Lions would have wound the clock down, and they scored. So Kansas City basically wouldn't have had any time left in the first half to score the field goal. So basically the Lions, because they had an incomplete pass stopping the clock, gave the Chiefs 3 points. I said, I don't know, man.
There's so much that happened in that game. I
know.
I have no memory of that, but okay. There you go.
There's your nitpicking.
That's why we're here. We're here to nitpick. Paul in Chesterfield, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hey, Paul.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay.
Well, I'm just a little disappointed that the Lions didn't pull off a good victory yesterday. I was just really irritated, and of course, being a Lions fan, we can all be irritated with the officiating. But, I guess when it comes right down to it, the Lions just didn't do enough to win. And even, they scored a lot of points, but they still didn't stop them when they really needed to stop them in order to claim victory. It's not, how would you say, a second prize in the boogie contest or anything like that, because they can't just seem to get over the hump. I mean, yes, they're probably better, and yes, they earn the respectability from everybody. But you understand what I'm saying, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you go in the red zone, you know, your first 4 times in the red zone, and you only come away with 10 points. That's not good. That was the story of the game.
Paul, is there any part of you that goes, okay, Kansas City is one of the 2 best teams in football? I don't think there's much debate about that. I think it's the Pats and the Chiefs.
And I know that, but you know, there were bad calls on both sides of the ball yesterday, and I don't want to use that as an excuse, but it just seems sometimes like it just crops up at the worst possible moments for the Lions, and you know, they really did play their hearts out yesterday, and my hat goes off to them. But again, when it comes down to it, they just didn't make enough plays to win the game. And yeah, they can hang their hat on one thing, that Kansas City is top notch in the league, and they hung with them the whole time. And if they wouldn't have made the mistakes that they did, then they probably would have came out on top. I'm sure of it. But you know, you don't win championships by being an also-ran. I guess that's my bottom line.
But I guess what I feel like they proved yesterday is that they're not an also-ran, and I think that's look. I'm not. There's no moral victories here, and I know that Matt Patricia is not happy this morning.
They might be an also-ran standings-wise, though, as the season develops. But as far as what you see on the field, I agree with you. They look like a real freaking football team.
Okay, but why do you say they might be an also-ran? Like, what in this division makes you look at it? Watching the Lions yesterday, minus Slay, minus Amendola, minus Diggs for much of the game, minus Daniels, and I'm not sure when any of those guys are coming back.
Right.
Obviously, I expect. I think Slay's benching yesterday had a lot to do with the bye. Don't you?
Yes.
And I think they look at the bye and go, okay, he can have a solid 3 weeks off and hopefully be close to 100% for the Packers. But what about the Bears, Vikings, or Packers makes you go, oh, quaking in your boots?
Well, it's not so much quaking in the boots, but I think the Bears are better, even if, you know, who knows, the quarterback situation. I don't even know if Chase Daniel's that much worse than Trubisky.
There's no way Chase Daniel is going to beat the Detroit Lions.
Thanksgiving.
Hold on a second.
On Thanksgiving,
Take back what I just said.
Exactly. But it's also the math, and we're going to go back to the freaking Arizona game. Would you really?
They've played 4 games. You can't do math
Hold
yet.
Hold up.
It's way too early to do math.
Hold on. Let me finish for a second.
No, because you're going to start by saying, what if they finish 8-7-1?
I'm sorry, you're going to play this game. Nobody thought they would be better than 2-2.
I understand.
Nobody.
How many?
Take it.
I agree with that. I'm thinking the big picture.
Okay, do your math.
How many wins do you think they're going to have? Are they going to go 8-4 the rest of the way? That's what they're going to have to do.
Who knows?
Okay, but you think they're going to go 8-4 right now?
I don't know.
In this division right now, 9-7, 9-6-1 might win it. If everybody beats everybody. If everybody goes splits against each other.
Forget about what might happen, okay?
Right.
Here's what needs to happen, okay? They lose to the Chiefs. They lose by 4. They distinguish themselves very well, whatever. I think I'm kind of echoing what Paul was saying here. Almost beating the Chiefs will mean nothing if they don't absolutely, without question, take care of the Broncos, the Redskins,
Giants,
the Raiders, the Giants. Yes, that if they lose one of those games, then everything that happened yesterday doesn't matter. So it's almost like what they did yesterday is fine, and maybe they gained some fans, and maybe Patricia is the best coach that Gov's ever seen. That's all great
for the Lions.
Not better than Belichick. But if they don't beat the Giants, the Raiders, all these other teams, it's all for naught.
Right. Well, you're playing a schedule game. I'm playing the math. They have to win 8 more games, I think, to win the division.
The way the NFL is, though, they're going to lose one of those games, and then they're going to win one that we don't see
I'm
coming.
not playing the schedule game. What I'm saying is that, like, if there are fans who are still going to be skeptical because they lost the game yesterday, and we always talk about we keep moving the bar in the Lions. All anybody that I heard last week say about this game yesterday was, I just want to see him be competitive.
I'm very happy with what I saw.
I want to see him battle. Well, they did that, and now you have some fans saying, they lost the game when they had a chance. In my mind, they played one of the 2 best teams in the NFL, toe-to-toe. They played against the best quarterback in the NFL, and Brady and Stafford went toe-to-toe with them. Right? I mean, Stafford was, he's not as good as Patrick Mahomes, but yesterday was a good quarterbacking battle. They did everything.
My biggest thing right now is being negative is that, you know what I thought watching yesterday's game? I felt like I was watching a game that happened almost 2 years ago to the day. And it was the Falcon game where the Golden Tate, the 10-second runoff, toe-to-toe against a team that had just gone to the Super Bowl. One of the best offenses in the league, probably not as glamorized as the Chiefs, but Atlanta had accomplished actually more than the Chiefs have by going to the Super Bowl. And they ended up not, missing one, couldn't make one play to win the game.
Mark in Sterling Heights, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hey, Mark.
Morning, guys.
Morning. Good, how are you?
Good. Daniel, by the way, he did beat the Lions in his first start in his career.
We know that.
I know, I was being sarcastic. Thanksgiving Day last year.
Yeah. Listen, let me preface this by saying Matt Patricia's going to forget more football than I'll ever know. Okay? I'm not going to cry about the officiating yesterday. It goes both ways. They had them 4th down, 1 play to go. They win the game if they hold them. They didn't. Okay, it's over. They played the game. What continues to be an issue over and over and over, and I've called this issue. This guy's in-game coaching is abysmal. The challenge in the first quarter was ridiculous. Now, I know it didn't cost them the game because, he didn't have a challenge later or whatever, but it's just the golden ticket, man. You don't use one. That was only a 2nd down play. It was only going to be 3rd and 1. You just don't use challenges that early in the game. That's number one. He does that time and time again. Then at the end of the game, either started Kansas City's last drive. If they're going to score, they're going to score. They weren't thinking field goal. We all know that. They were trying to score a touchdown. If you use your defensive timeout earlier, I'd rather have the ball back with, instead of 20 seconds in one timeout, maybe 50 seconds in no timeout. Now, I'm not saying they would have gone down and scored line, but still, it continues to be an issue. The scheme and the culture might be in place, and the buy-in and all that, and that's cool. This guy continues to be a buffoon with his in-game coaching decisions.
All right, well, thanks for the call. I do want to talk about the timeouts at the end of regulation because there was a lot of debate about that, and I don't know. We'll talk about that coming up next. But first, it's time for a sports update. Here's Tony Ortiz on 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. The radio.com sports station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
The Lions no longer among the NFL's undefeated teams after they fall to the Kansas City Chiefs 34-30 yesterday at Ford Field. It wasn't easy, though, for Kansas City as the Chiefs needed a 78-yard drive late in the 4th quarter, which was capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Darrell Williams with just 20 seconds left to go in the game to ultimately defeat the Lions. Next up for Detroit, they're on a bye this week before they take on the Green Bay Packers Monday night, October 14th at Lambeau Field. The 2019 season came to an end for the Tigers yesterday with a 5-3 loss in Chicago to the White Sox. After watching his team lose 114 games, the second most in a single season in Tigers history, manager Ron Gardenhire admitted after the game to Fox Sports Detroit he's really looking forward to the offseason.
Need to rest. Need to take a step back and look at, everything and relax a little bit here, and then we'll get back into the grind of all the other stuff. But right now, it's relax a little bit, take it easy, wind down, get my health back, all of it, the broken brain, and, hopefully we'll go from there.
Meanwhile, the matchups for the opening round of the baseball playoffs are now set. Tomorrow night, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Washington Nationals meet in the National League wildcard game. Wednesday night, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's will clash in the American League wildcard game. Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh meets with the media this afternoon for his weekly press conference in Ann Arbor. Harbaugh and the 19th-ranked Wolverines face off against number 14 Iowa in a critical Big Ten game for both of those teams Saturday at the Big House. NBA basketball in the spotlight today as the Pistons hold their annual media day this afternoon at Auburn Hills. Training camp officially opens for players and coaches tomorrow morning with a pair of practices at the Breslin Center in East Lansing. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and radio.com.
Jamie.
Touchdown, Lakers!
On 97.1 The Ticket.
It is the Jamie and Stoney Show on a Monday morning, 97.1 The Ticket. A couple days here of really warm temps after kind of a cool weekend. High of 78 today, chance of a thunderstorm. And then tomorrow, 87 degrees for the high. We're talking a lot about the Lions and their 34-30 loss yesterday to the Kansas City Chiefs. There were 8 undefeated teams in the NFL when play began on Thursday. There's now 3. Right?
A lot of road teams won yesterday, too.
A lot of underdogs won yesterday as well, or at least covered.
In the early games, the Chargers, or not the Chargers, who was the only home team to win? It wasn't. I had it, and I totally just.
The Giants.
The Giants. Yeah, the Giants were the only home team that won early.
Yeah.
Danny Jones, baby.
Danny Dimes.
2-2.
Danny Dimes.
I love the NFL how it just comes back to the middle. The New York Giants are 2-2.
I know. How about in that game where Dwayne Haskins' first completed pass was to Will Peppers? Yeah, he returned for a touchdown.
All right, so who is the third best team in the NFL?
Best team?
Third best team in the NFL.
It's either the Cowboys or the Saints.
The Saints. Okay. Saints beat the Cowboys, so the Saints are better.
The backup quarterback.
Thank you, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater. But I mean, beyond that, I mean,
I know.
There's okay. The Pats are undefeated.
The Pats are hot. Look, they're still going to be really good, but their offensive line, it's next man up, but that offensive line was brutal yesterday.
The Chiefs are undefeated, and the 49ers are undefeated. They had a bye yesterday. After that, the 3-1 teams, the Seahawks. I'm not buying them. The Rams, your boy Jared Goff, the Saints, the Bears, the Packers, and the Bills. Those are the 3-1 teams.
We may be heading for a Cowboy 49er back in the heyday thing, where the AFC Championship game is the real Super Bowl.
Oh, I kind of think we're already there.
We got to save this tape. Play back in January. We should, man.
No,
this is
I actually tweeted something last night watching the Bears demolish the Vikings that I almost thought of adding freezing cold takes, just because I'm like, this might come back to haunt me. But I said, the Bears defense is so good. Is it enough to carry them to the division championship, ? The conference championship, ? I mean,
the Bears defense it has a chance to enter the Buccaneers Super Bowl win season,
right?
And possibly even the Ravens.
The Ravens, yeah. I mean, watching yesterday, that's how good they're unbelievable. Anyway, let's talk about the clock, shall we? 248-539-9797. A lot of people were debating Matt Patricia's usage of timeouts at the very end of the game, because what happened was the Chiefs got down to the 5 inside the 10. I'll get the actual game chart in front of me, but inside the 10-yard line with 39 seconds to go.
They got to this. It was 2nd and 10 at the 16 with 39 seconds left, and he threw a short pass for 13 yards. That's when they used their first timeout.
Okay,
30 seconds left.
Right. Now, to me, watching the game live, people were questioning the timeout. I thought he called the timeout there to essentially say to his defense, let's calm down here. Let's regroup, because as long as we keep them out of the end zone, we still are looking at a tie here.
Correct.
So I took that as a strategic timeout in terms of let's catch our breath, let's regroup, reload, and not let them score a touchdown. Now, the comp that people are bringing up, as Gov brought up during the Tony's update, would be Belichick against the Seahawks in the Super Bowl as the clock was winding down, and everybody, including probably Pete Carroll, was expecting Belichick to call a timeout there to leave Brady as much time as possible to come back down the field and score after the Seahawks scored a touchdown, which is what we all thought they were going to do there. And the feeling is that Belichick panicked a little bit, and potentially the offensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks, Darrell Bevell, panicked a little bit in order to pass instead of the run, and that's what led to the Malcolm Butler pick.
But the difference is Kansas City still had one timeout left, so
Correct.
they could have used it. So,
Yes.
I don't think they would have panicked. Now, there are those who think that Patricia should have taken the timeout earlier than the play before, when it was 2nd and 1 at the 18-yard line. Mahomes passed to Hardman for a 2-yard gain. If he takes the timeout there, it's probably about 1:02 left, and they let it go till 43 before he uses timeout. So thus, that was what the caller was saying, is he'd rather have no timeouts. The caller would rather have no timeouts and, let's say, 20 more seconds left. But then you can't, like the play that even got him in the position, the Hail Mary, you have no timeouts left. You're not going to be able to go to the middle of the field. I mean, you can spike the ball, but still, I understand their strategy. I don't always agree with it, but he wants to at least have a timeout left so he can do something.
Well, they did throw, they threw the long pass to Marvin Jones for 25 yards out of midfield.
Right, and then they called
a timeout. Then they threw the other pass to Logan Thomas, and he went out of bounds. That was a short gain. That was like 6 yards. I don't know. Once they got to me, Kansas City, once they got to about the 5-yard line, the clock was no longer an issue.
Correct.
Because, and you can say, well, they couldn't have run the ball if it weren't for Patricia calling the timeout. But like you said, they still had one timeout remaining.
Right.
So
the Lions had to call timeout there just to give them a chance at something once Kansas City scored, whether it was a field goal or a touchdown.
Right.
No, I have no problem. I have no problem with the Lions using the defensive timeouts. The only possible criticism is could he have used it one play or two plays earlier? And to me, it's 6.5 dozen.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of like finding a reason why the trouble with the snap play happened. Like, at that point, it happened. You know what I mean? People want to criticize Harbaugh for putting the wingers out or the gunners out there on the edge, blah, blah.
He doesn't drop the ball.
It was a crazy... There, you got Patrick Mahomes, who had gotten the ball inside the Lions' 10-yard line. Either they were going to stop him there, they were going to have a big defensive stand and force overtime because Kansas City would have to settle for a field goal, or that was going to be it. And that's unfortunately what happened. Some ticket text, 97136. Stafford and Carrion both fumbling inside the 5-yard line. Typical Lions. Todd and Farmington Hills. On the Lions, so far this season, I've never been so upset with a tie and so happy about a loss. It's true. Yeah. It's 100% true. The tone of the conversation this morning is as if they just won the game, and the tone after the tie was as if they lost it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they won the game. People were just kind of impressed with the way they played. Can you imagine it was the other way around? They would have lost Arizona and tied Kansas City. Because they'd have the same record, right?
Yeah.
People would say, well, we tied the Chiefs.
I guess so. I don't know. It's weird. No, I can't imagine what that would be like.
What you just said, both of you, in your latest points, is it's all about style.
Yes,
and
exactly.
You know what? In the end, it doesn't matter. You take the record that they have, and it's going to come down to the division games, period. It's very simplistic, I know, but that's it. They've got to go 4-2 in the division.
The refs, are you effing kidding me, Jamie? The refs totally screwed the Lions on 3 calls. The Lions lost the game because of the refs. They played well enough to beat them. I assume he's saying the 3 calls would be what? The Galladay touchdown, the Mahomes penalty on the, roughing the passer, and what's the third one?
Maybe the one where they didn't call interference on Hitchens.
I thought first of all, Patricia could have challenged that.
Right.
Number one. And number two,
they scored on that afterwards.
No, that was the Johnson fumble.
Oh, right.
So what that would have given the Lions would have been 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, which is essentially what they had one play later on the McKissick play, which was augmented by the face mask penalty, and then they would have had 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
So, same thing have happened. We don't know.
You can't say that.
No, I know. We don't know.
Yeah. Why would you even rush 3 and leave the middle wide open on 4th and 8? We don't even coach that stuff on a high school level. Typical Lions.
I see a lot of times where teams rush on 3 guys, especially when you have a guy like Mahomes who's better outside the pocket, and you have so many wide receivers you need to cover. My problem with the defensive strategy was that they had their safeties playing so far back that if Mahomes was able to escape, which there was nothing really even to escape from, it was right there. And I believe there was one of the linebackers, whether it was Kristen Jones or somebody else, they screwed up and went the wrong way, leaving the gap wide open.
When they started to spying Mahomes at the end there, who was the player that was caught in between? Do I go after Mahomes or do I guard Kelsey? And he decided to finally go to Mahomes.
Right.
And then he threw it to Kelsey. There comes a point in time against a superstar player where you're picking your poison. The quarterback, he was not going to run all game because that's naturally not what they're going to do.
Right.
But that was there all game.
Yeah.
He was missing on a lot of throws, too, where there were guys that were open and he was, 1 foot too far with the throw.
Right. They had 0 sacks on him, but they definitely forced him into earlier decisions than he would have liked as well. 7:14 coming up next. Heather has news. Heather, what do you got?
Oh, well, I've got a story that's all about drivers in Auburn Hills. They were in for a huge shock over the weekend after porn started playing on a billboard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
97 won the ticket.
And when you're hiring, you don't want to waste time. You want an efficient way to get to your short list of qualified candidates? That's why you need Indeed.com, used by over 3 million businesses. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions that zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. And when you need to hire fast, accelerate your results with sponsored jobs. New users can try for free at Indeed.com/radio. That's Indeed.com/radio. Terms, conditions, quality standards apply.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Sept. There's an accident reported 96 Jeffries westbound local lanes at Greenfield, blocking the left lane at Shoulder. Another accident reported blocking the left side of the Southfield Freeway southbound at Warren Avenue. Fiat Chrysler Automobiles is hosting a professional skilled career fair this Thursday, October 3rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Go to Oakland County, Michigan Works at 550 Stevenson Highway north of 14 Mile Road in Troy. That's a professional skilled career fair this Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 550 Stevenson Highway in Troy. FCA's an equal opportunity employer. I'm Michelle Pena in the WWJ 24-hour traffic center.
Now available for download. Always Aggravated. A Mike Valenti signature podcast. Get it on radio.com and Apple iTunes. Fall into savings at LaFontaine Buick GMC of Ann Arbor, where you'll save time and money for all your automotive needs. Drive home today in a new 2019 Buick Encore, leasing now for only $99 a month. Just $99 a month. Serving Ann Arbor, Highland, and now in Lansing. Or shop LaFontaine Buick GMC AnnArbor.com today. Lease for $99 a month for 24 months at 10,000 miles a year. $3,000 plus tax, title plates, not good transfer to signing. No security deposit, EG and employee pricing, and GM lease loyalty offer is 9/30/19.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Mortgage interest rates right now are at an 11-month low. Call 248-308-5000 or chat with us online at davidhallmortgage.com. Lower payments, better options, more personal attention.
CBS Tonight. Laugh away the Monday blues, starting with a new episode of The Neighborhood.
The boy just told me that I was his bully. Can you believe that?
Sometimes you go a little too far.
Tina, you're my wife. It's supposed to be me and you against the kids.
From Chuck Lorre comes a love story made in America.
So, you're on a break.
Yes, we have 28 minutes.
Sounds like speed date.
This is not too deep.
Okay, 27 minutes.
Don't miss the new comedy, Bob Hearts and Mishola. LA's newest Superior Court judge is changing the system, one case at a time.
Your Honor, we're going to trial.
Simone Missick is Judge Laura Carmichael.
You're going to be one of those creative judges. Say it like it's a bad thing.
Now it's her court and her rules.
Freedom is at stake. It's important.
All rise, followed by a new rule on CBS Tonight. Tonight, starting at 8 on CBS 62 Detroit. Then stay tuned for first forecast at 11. DTE believes that the energy we all use doesn't have to contribute to climate change. That's why within the next 10 years, we will triple renewables and cut carbon emissions in half. And now we are announcing a bold new goal to reach net zero carbon emissions in electric generation by 2050. DTE has long been a leader in clean, affordable, reliable energy. And leaders don't just do what's easy, they do what's right. DTE.
Our energy grid. It powers the present and fuels the future. That's why DTE is working every day, planning and building the grid of tomorrow, investing in infrastructure that's stronger and more resilient, using advanced technologies to make it smarter and more responsive, so you can have reliable, affordable energy where you need it, when you need it. Learn more at DTEenergy.com. DTE.
Is your business still settling for slow internet? Well, time is money. Switch to Comcast Business now and get a great deal on fast, reliable internet. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, installation when it works for you, and 24/7 customer support. It's time to take your business beyond. Right now, get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and auto pay. Plus, we offer solutions like powerful Wi-Fi that thinks about what customers want, and automatic internet backup that can keep your business running. So what are you waiting for?
just downtown Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas. Got something to say? Text 971 the ticket now at 97136. Ticket text brought to you by LaFontaine Buick GMC of Ann Arbor. Home of the Family Deal. Find over 5,000 new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs daily at FamilyDeal.com. 971 the ticket would like to remind you that when you text the ticket, standard text messaging rates apply.
Lions lose to the Chiefs 34-30. Michigan and Michigan State both win. Michigan rolls over Rutgers. Michigan State with a dramatic 40-31 win over Indiana. And the Tigers season is over.
Oh, man.
They lose to the White Sox yesterday 5-3. Finish with a record of 47-114.
Jamie, remember we set the over-under for Miguel Cabrera at 11.5. Yesterday, he hit his 12th home run. It's pretty good. We were pretty good on that.
We set the over-under in like May, though, didn't we?
Yes.
We set it on April 1st.
No, I know, but still.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mickey.
Yeah.
Time for news. Here's Heather Park. What's up, Heather?
Good morning.
Good morning.
A St. Louis Cardinals beat writer actually helped save the life of a videographer who collapsed in the Cubs dugout before the game on Sunday.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
story, yeah.
Really incredible. Apparently, the videographer collapsed before the game, and this beat writer ran over there and was able to perform CPR before more medical attention was provided. This guy had a heart attack and a stroke.
Ooh.
And they say he is in stable condition now.
Wow. Is that a prerequisite to be a beat writer? You have to learn CPR?
Only the Post-Dispatch.
Oh.
No, but apparently this beat writer is a former lifeguard, so he had been trained in CPR. He knew what to do. And, they're just giving him some praise.
Good for him.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
Heather, do you know CPR?
Oh my gosh, I've had to learn CPR numerous times, but I don't know if I'd be able to do it if I had to.
You had to learn it for one of your dozens and dozens of jobs.
Yeah, I had to learn it.
Teacher?
Well, I was a nanny for a little boy who had breathing issues, so I had to learn it before I took that job.
New development, Heather.
Yep.
We never knew you were a nanny.
Well, I'd say nanny, but a nanny, I didn't live with the couple. I mean, I was a babysitter. This was in college, but I did have to go and take classes before I
Okay.
took the job. And then I think you have to do it before you go into teaching. Like,
What about as a valet?
no, you just
Never performed CPR on a bagel?
Bagel slicer?
No.
Okay.
On a bagel. Come on now. All right, so 3 of 4 inmates who escaped from an Ohio prison yesterday were captured in North Carolina this morning. So these guys were able to escape after they overpowered 2 female corrections officers. Then they were able to force open a secure door, and then they stole keys to one of the corrections officers' vehicles and got away.
And how many people did you say earlier have already escaped from this prison?
I don't know how many people, but it's the 3rd escape at the jail since August.
Yes, they need to.
Yes.
They need to reassess how they're doing their job.
Without
Just fire the warden.
a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Now, obviously, there's still one guy on the loose. There is an award if anyone can provide information for this guy's whereabouts. $2,500. So
I have a guess. North Carolina.
North Carolina and hiding
Yeah.
somewhere.
Either that, or if the 4 guys slip out of the prison together, wouldn't it make more sense for them to go in 4 separate directions?
Unless they were like best friends
Yeah, but even so.
and they just wanted to be together, you know?
If me and my best friend broke out of prison together, I think I'd say, like, I'll send you a Christmas card.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
We'll be in touch. Good luck out there. You guys, drivers in Auburn Hills were in for a shock on Saturday night after porn started playing on an electronic billboard for about a half an hour.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yes.
I would have got off at the next exit and then come back again.
Well, a lot of people were.
Hold on a second. You said you would have gotten off at the next exit? Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
A lot of people were pulling over. A lot of people called 911 when they saw this video playing.
911?
Yeah, yes, they were calling 911.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a misuse of the 911. That's not an emergency, okay?
Well,
Unless there's kids in the car and
It is actually.
Come on.
so the
You
video.
don't think people would be distracted?
Yeah.
Distracted driving?
Well, you do it every day.
People are slowing down. They're driving slow on the highway. It's unsafe.
Okay.
But It started just after 11 p.m. and it was on a billboard on I-75 near 59.
Near 69?
No, she said
No,
59.
I
Oh, you
said 59. Yes,
Okay.
I did.
It wasn't
So-
near Big Beaver.
Auburn Hills police were able to contact the company that actually runs the billboard, and the images were removed about 30 minutes later. And now there's an investigation underway to determine if maybe this billboard was hacked, which is what they think happened.
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Yeah, me too.
What movie was it, Heather? Was it Ginger's All-Girl Hits? Or
Yeah,
Welcome
that
to
I
My
don't
Full
know.
Face?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
But does it really matter?
Shaving Rhymes Privates. Right?
Shavings, yeah. Was that what it was?
I think so.
Yes. You never saw that movie?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
On
I don't know
Gold
it.
Blonde? You never saw that one? No? Okay.
So as
Romancing the Bone.
You never saw that one? Yank My Doodle? No? Okay, go ahead, Heather. What else is
goodness. SNL returned this weekend, and a veteran cast member lost it after a sketch didn't quite go as planned. Did you guys watch this weekend?
No, but I DVR it.
And I watched it after the fact. I didn't watch it on Saturday. I watched it on Sunday. And it was Edie Bryant. She was caught like mid-skit. A wardrobe personnel walked out to change jackets. She was changing her blazer every other take, kind of. And the wardrobe person walked out when she shouldn't have. And from then on, Bryant couldn't quite control her laughter.
It's revolting. It feels like a real turning point in the Trump candidacy.
He gonna win.
Alex, I'll admit that you were onto something back then. I believe the arc. I believe in the arc of the moral universe. It's long, but it bends towards justice. Well said to me.
Well said indeed. He's gonna win again.
And it wasn't really even that funny, but I'm sure when you're on set to them, when things go wrong, you just can't control your laughter. So that was pretty much, she just lost it for the rest of the sketch.
From what I've read about SNL, they're very militant about not breaking. I mean, obviously.